Hey there, my name's Jeff Myers, and today I want to tell you all about the ins and outs of the VP of Production position for your JA Company program team. There's probably more to this position than you think, and making sure you're creating a purposeful and organized work environment can mean the difference between this and this. I want to make sure you have as much information as possible before you start this journey. This video will show you what it means to be VP of Production, steps to success in that position, and how you fit amongst the overall team and contribute to its success. So, without further ado, let's get started on this JA executive training for the VP of Production. To start off, let's figure out what production actually is. As the VP of Production, you're going to be in charge of ordering and purchasing raw materials, establishing production and operational goals, developing strategies for effective and efficient production, training your team on creating your product or executing your service, and ensuring quality, keeping track of inventories, and measuring your team's progress throughout the year. Geez, Jeff, that's a lot. Sure is, Jeff. Production is no joke, and it's certainly not a race. Now, speaking of race, do you know what sprinters eat for breakfast? No, do tell. Nothing. They fast. So, with all of these tasks at hand, what are some things you can do to be successful in this position? Tip number 1, you need to develop a plan. The more you plan out how you will create the production process and the materials you'll need, the more you're going to be able to avoid costly mistakes. There's a lot to consider when making your plan. The first is to focus on sourcing your materials. You'll need to evaluate your needs depending on the product or service. Try and always follow the 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, and most importantly, why. So you've got to make a plan. I get it. Last time I tried to make a plan, didn't work out so well. All right, let's hear what happened. Well, I was going to tell a joke about unemployment, but then as it turned out, none of them worked. I read that, I was like, what is that? It's important to designate who is in charge of each process. This is a great way to show leadership and to empower some of your teammates who may need it. You'll also need to consider how to source and purchase your materials. Work with the finance department to develop a budget and make sure you don't spend more than you have.
I declare bankruptcy!
Pro tip.
As the crownless king now rules the world.
Make sure to communicate with all other departments through this process. The more communication you have in meetings and out, the less likely you'll be to make costly mistakes. When sourcing, always remember to assess the estimated costs, shop around to compare prices, and always inquire about discounts for students, more common than you may think. Be careful about purchasing online. Try and evaluate that quality in person if possible. Delegate and assign roles where you are able to. When you're planning the production phase, there are 2 mainstream strategies. The first is the production line. This is where you assign roles and train your team to learn a certain section of the production process. There is some risk to this. If one person is missing in the production line, you're going to have to make sure that another student can sub in for them without delaying production. Now, the second method is the end-to-end production. This is where each student makes the product from start to finish. Now, some of the risks with this are, you have students that aren't pulling their weight, or they might lack proper training. You may be putting too much stress on certain members of the team, including yourself. Production can be a difficult process and can be more monotonous than you might think. Try and have some fun with it. Try to get together for production parties, meet outside of their meeting times. It's a great way to build team unity and have a good time. Always bring some snacks.
There's no reason that you can't have the theme of the party and have treats that are, it's Candyland.
Also, consider moving people around the production process to keep it fresh. Don't let people get too bored with their tasks. because a stimulated mind can lead to faster work and maybe even some good ideas. Tip number 2, quality. Quality in your product will be defined by durability, safety, appearance, performance, and the service that you're going to be providing to your customer. To maintain quality, make sure you provide training for all members of your team. You may even want to assign a quality assurance manager, someone who's going to uphold the quality standards for every product made. This will involve quality checks as well as evaluations of the materials used and the suppliers that you're sourcing from. Another important factor will be safety assurance. There are rules around the safe production of JA products that you must follow. Take a good look at the product application sheet in the description and get a sense of the main rules and regulations. Outside of that, you're going to be the one in charge of safety. Believe me, even something as simple as a hot glue gun can cause some real damage if used improperly.
You want me to go to the bathroom? The most dangerous room in the house by myself? Do you have any idea what could happen?
You'll be in charge of accident prevention training and accident reports if needed. You might want to nominate a safety officer if you're going to be dealing with more dangerous equipment. Tip number 3, let's talk about record keeping. Don't worry, all executives have some sort of record keeping involved with their position. It may not be the most fun, but believe me, it's going to keep you from pulling your hair out when it comes time to the end of the program. Keep careful record throughout the production process. Get to know Excel spreadsheets. Be the spreadsheet. I love spreadsheets. I heard you really need to learn how to use them if you want to excel in life. Main things to keep track of throughout the program are production records and weekly goals, purchasing records, including what, who is responsible, when it will be complete, and from who it's being purchased, an inventory tracker, tracking materials as well as finished goods. Now let's talk about how you fit into the overall success of your team. First, I don't think I can talk about this position without mentioning leadership. Leadership is a skill, just like any other, and it's important to come into this leadership role humble, but also confident. You're going to be put into a position that requires decision-making and teamwork. Sometimes one of these ideas can falter and bring down the entire process. Make sure to work hard at both leadership and teamwork, and you can achieve the goals of your organization. On the topic of teamwork, you might think that there are some departments that you won't have to work with. I'm here to dissuade you of that notion. Here's what you're going to need from each of the other executive positions. Finance. Production is one of the largest expenses. You'll need to be working with the finance team to help them track cash flow and forecasting. Marketing. Production records will help marketing track what is available for sale. Marketing will also drive future production as they give numbers to their sales teams. Human resources. Working together to organize the people on the teams in different production areas. You'll also need HR to organize training sessions and create production policies. Information technology. IT will help you get your product online, and you're going to work with them to give them specifics they'll need to highlight. They're also going to assist with sourcing your product. The president. Production info is required for summary reporting and also making important decisions about the direction of the business. So now you should have a good idea of what the VP of production position is all about. What is expected of you in this position, some tips and tricks for success, and how you fit into the overall success of your team. Check back in with this video throughout the year if you have any questions or need assistance. Otherwise, I wish you all the best. Hey, what about me? I got one more dad joke before we go. All right, let's hear it. Well, I know we have to say goodbye to the audience, but do you know how robots say goodbye? Huh? No, Jeff, how do robots say goodbye? They use binary. Thank you so much for watching this JA Executive Training video for the VP of Production role. Make sure to check out some of the other available videos to get an idea of the executive roles you may be interested in. Until next time, I'm Jeff Myers. clap out.